This is the iPhone 17 Pro Max, Apple's 2025 flagship that I've been using for the past couple weeks alongside the new iPhone Air. And in this review, I'll walk you through everything: design, display, performance, cameras, battery, and whether it's really worth your upgrade. Now, I've been a Pro Max user for several years now, and this year I wasn't as excited to try this one, to be honest, because my attention was all on the new iPhone Air. But ultimately, this is the phone that I will keep. But before I get ahead of myself, let's dive deep right into the review. Right out of the box, the iPhone 17 Pro Max feels premium. Its size is big, bold, and unapologetic with a 6.9-inch display, the same size as last year's Pro Max. Currently, this is Apple's largest screen ever. The frame and body have been redesigned this year, as Apple has gone from titanium to aluminum in a new unibody construction, combining that with their ceramic shield too for both front and back. Visually, however, one of the bold moves is the full-width camera plateau. It's a statement. While I thought in initial images it looked a bit overbearing, now that I've been using this for quite a while now, I actually kind of like it for its cohesive look. And look, I know the whole scratch gate debate has also kicked off, and many users are pointing out that the aluminum around the camera edges seem prone to wear. Apple's response is that many of the visible marks in stores are material transfer from display stands, not actual scratches, but that is something worth keeping in mind. Now, personally, I have not experienced any of this. However, I do use this nice clear case from ESR that's thin, light, protective, and shows off the phone, so I'm not too worried about scratches. Now, holding the Pro Max in comparison to the Air, you definitely feel the thickness and weight. It's not a phone made for one-handed use. Now, the smaller Pro might, but the Pro Max definitely isn't. But for people who want the biggest canvas available for the iPhone, the Pro Max is the one to go for. And a lot of it is because of its display, which we're going to talk about now, because this is where the Pro Max really kind of shows off. The 6.9-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display is absolutely beautiful. And just like previous years, it supports the 120Hz ProMotion refresh rate, HDR10, and Dolby Vision. It hits super bright peaks up to 3000 nits for outdoor content, so in real-world use, it's eye-popping under sunlight. Contrast, color fidelity, deep blacks, it's all there. For content consumption, this is the best phone that delivers. The sheer size makes full-screen immersive content more powerful than ever before. Under the hood, the iPhone 17 Pro Max runs on the A19 Pro chip paired with 12 gigs of RAM in many configurations. This is Apple's top-tier silicon for 2025. Now look, performance is something that I like discussing the least because let's be honest, all iPhones, regardless of which one you are getting, are lightning fast, especially for essential day-to-day tasks. Heck, I'll even go as far as to say that even the past few years, iPhones are crazy fast till this day, and you're not really going to be able to tell a difference unless you're doing high performance tasks like editing or gaming. Now, the thermal management on the Pro has been updated as well. Apple added a vapor chamber cooling system to better dissipate heat under heavy loads. In my tests, it handled extended use much better than the previous year's Pro Max models. Now, it does warm up under load, but it definitely does not get hot like previous year's iPhones, because last year's iPhone would get really hot sometimes. Now let's discuss the camera system, because this is where the Pro phones truly flex the most. All three cameras are now 48 megapixels. The telephoto has now up to 8x optical zoom, and it looks fantastic. Before, when you would zoom in so much, you'd get a lot of graininess, but now it's super detailed and way higher quality. And it's actually quite impressive how great it looks. Photos in daylight are crisp, colors are well balanced and not overly saturated. HDR handling is solid, and low light performance impresses thanks to sensor optimization and stabilization. But for video creators like myself, this is where you get differentiation. You obviously get ProRAW and ProRes support, but you also get cinematic and 4K HDR with better depth transitions. You also get 120 frames per second Dolby Vision capture and spatial video recording. And the front camera is no slouch either. It now has been upgraded to 18 megapixels with center stage and auto framing features, which makes it solid for vlogging or video calls. And you see, Apple didn't just stop there. They leaned hard into video more than ever before. Action mode with OIS and sensor shift work beautifully beautifully for stabilization. Even jittery handheld clips look a lot smoother than ever before. And of course, it supports log, GenLog compatibility, and external recording workflows as well. And with all these things, the iPhone 17 Pro Max becomes a serious video production device. Dual capture, which is front and rear cameras working simultaneously, is slick for reaction content. Spatial video, while still in early adoption, pushes the iPhone closer to augmented reality content creation. And when you stitch all of this together, the interface, camera apps, exporting of these files, and Apple's ecosystem support of Final Cut, Logic, etc., this gives creators a streamlined pipeline. Look, I'm a content creator and almost all the videos that you see on my channel are filmed on my iPhone, and with this new Pro Max, it looks super crisp and nice. So I'm gonna say this, for content creators and photography enthusiasts, the Pro iPhones are a toolkit that's hard to beat. Now let's discuss battery life, because battery is a big win for the Max model. With a larger battery with over 4,800 milliamp hours and Apple's efficiency improvements, I saw all-day use even under heavy load. In video playback, photography, and background tasks, it seldom dipped below 25% before bedtime around 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. Now, Apple also supports wired fast charging up to 40 watts and MagSafe Qi 2 wireless charging and faster top-ups, so you can get 50% in just about 20 minutes. However, one thing to mention is that because the Max is large, heat does become a factor during fast charge or simultaneous heavy usage. The vapor chamber definitely helps, but you will feel warmth in tighter cases. But like I said before, it doesn't get hot like previous iPhones, and that's a good thing. Now let's discuss connectivity, ports, and extras. The iPhone 17 and 17 Pro Max are pretty well equipped. They have a USB-C port that supports up to 10 gigabits per second for faster file transfers. You get Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, Thread, and Ultra Wideband 2 with dual eSIM support. And of course, like previous years, you get features like crash detection, emergency SOS via satellite, and Apple safety systems as well. In my daily use, connectivity was rock solid. Transfers, cloud sync, streaming, all was pretty phenomenal. So here's the thing, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is Apple's boldest smartphone yet. It's a smartphone made for power users, creators, and those who demand absolute top-tier performance. And if you want the biggest screen, the richest video features, and you build content on your phone, this is the one to aim for. It's literally a content creator's dream. But if you mostly browse, shoot casual photos, and don't necessarily need every advanced feature that I went over, then its size and price may feel like overkill. You do get incredible performance, but only some people will actually fully use it. So if I were recommending the Pro and Pro Max today, it would be ideally for creators and pros. For everyone else, consider whether all that power actually means something to you, and it'll even be something that you use. Like I said earlier in this video, I have been testing the Air just as long as the Pro, and honestly, I love the Air. The thinner and lighter form factor does make a difference, and the trade-offs on that phone don't necessarily feel like trade-offs unless you are someone who really wants to use the cameras and want that bigger battery life. But as always, I want to know your thoughts. Have you been using the Pro and Pro Max? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? Comment below and let me know, along with any questions that you may have. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll catch you in the next one.